music and the arts has a historical precedent of being able to have a profoundly positive effect on a human being. And Jazz for Peace had a situation where there was a child who was having a lot of trouble in school, and his mother had found out that he had been bullied in the school and was traumatized. And this is out in Los Angeles, California. And they contacted Jazz for Peace because there was no system in place to deal with, like there was no Shane Thrapp over there to, address the situation. And there was no organization that dealt with bullying in the schools even. So this woman contacted us, and she had to start an organization to address bullying in the schools herself, the mother of the child, because there wasn't anything. And we did everything that Jazz for Peace does. We've done over 850 benefit concerts for many of our listeners who already know this, and new ones who don't. And one of these was a benefit concert to get her, organization off the ground. And so we went out there, did everything we could. We helped them get new and prestigious supporters. We helped them get sponsors. We helped grow their donor base. We helped them get publicity and awareness, raise funds. And we did everything we could. And I kind of thought maybe I had come up short because they were a brand new organization. The woman was practically on life support. And I felt so much for the kid who'd been traumatized. Anyway, we get all the way back to New York now. And an email comes in, and I'm just a little terrified to read it because I'm thinking it's going to be one of those nice try kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for trying, like maybe you made a little dent. Instead, it was an email that didn't talk about sponsors. It didn't talk about how much funds were raised. It didn't talk about new and prestigious support. It didn't talk about all the things we tried to do. It talked about the child and how the child was profoundly affected in such a positive way that he had become better off in her mind than even before he had been traumatized. And here was the arts and culture doing that. And she said it was the fact that even that we would go out there and do something like that for him, and musicians as talented as us would come and play on his behalf, and all of that love and support. And that's what the email was about. So that plays into what you're saying, the importance of addressing the actual root of the problem. I mean, I threw all those sponsors out the window for a result like that, and I wasn't even thinking about it. And here she was doing that. But that's what we're trying to do here with the arts, is use the arts and culture to have a profoundly positive effect and address all these kinds of situations. One of them being, children who have issues with traumatic experiences and things of that nature.
Listening to the past few episodes, I love your podcast. I think you do a great job. And I really appreciate like what you shared earlier with what you helped with, and that kind of support. It doesn't matter if you raised money for them. It matters that somebody was willing to be there and to come there and to help. That's, that's part of the reason why I do the advocacy in the schools. Sometimes these students just need to know that it's okay to be different. They need permission to be okay with feeling different, and that should be celebrated and not vilified or othered. So and
that experience showed us that if we can get lost into all of the crazy nonsense of, did we raise enough money? Did we get enough sponsors? If we can get lost, imagine how lost the rest of the people are, concentrating on how much money was raised rather than how much they're actually helping the child.
Yep.
With our musical presentation is we're showing people that, when you see the improvisation, and I kind of get into wherever the hell I go, I don't even know till I listen back. That's what we want to tell people, is that has been a part of what music has always been. But when we get stuck in these isms like capitalism, all of a sudden they tell you, no. Only the part that sells beer. That's the only part of the musical presentation you can play. You know what I mean? If you don't sell beer with these two notes or whatever, we're not gonna, we're gonna hire this guy who sells more beer or whatever it is. So instead of just selling a product or providing pure entertainment, we're keeping the entertainment going. You can have a beer with us. We're still fun to play, but we're gonna get to the rest of what music has always been, which we've been marginalizing out because of this ism that we're kind of stuck in, that we've embraced and we can't really get out of. So, but let's bring the rest of music back is my point, with, all of the creativity and all that stuff. I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, though life would still go on, believe me, the world could show nothing to me. So what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. Deep is the midnight sea, warm is the fragrant land, sweet are your lips to me, soft as the moon and sand. When will we meet again? Now that the stars have left us, will the spell remain? Though waves invade the shore, though we may kiss no more, sand in the magic of love. Magic of love.
I love that. I love that music. It was
Great.
I had to take a moment. A final thing that I really want to get out there is your art is art. Your creativity. Look, I found my creativity in business, y'all. I don't draw. I don't paint. I don't play music. I don't do those things. But your creativity is in the place where your passions are. And when you discover those things, when you discover that area of your life where your brain won't stop exploring, whether that's designing Legos or being a dungeon master for Dungeons and Dragons or in the different hobbies that you have, that's your art. And you should celebrate it, regardless of what it is.
That, you brought up such great points here throughout this podcast, by the way. Two people you brought up. One was Lenny Tristano. Just so you know, you brought up that name. One of my teachers was a great pianist named Richie Byrack, and Lenny Tristano was his teacher. So that's the lineage, yes. So he taught Lenny, and Lenny taught him, and he taught me. Now, the other person you said was Miles Davis. If you get the Jazz for Peace CD, which is kind of our, the CD that kind of launched us. It's called Jazz for Peace. And look at the drummer's name. And then you look at the Miles Davis CD called Bitches Brew, which was a breakthrough CD from Miles Davis. You'll see it's the same drummer. His name is Lenny White. So the same drummer who played on Miles Davis' breakthrough CD, Bitches Brew, also played on the breakthrough CD by me titled Jazz for Peace. So there's a lot of synergy between those people. And we will see you again here at the Jazz for Peace podcast, where the final solution is love.